Hello everybody, and this is Chaos with Chaos Esports Productions, bringing you some more Bronze to Masters League series. Today we're going to be looking at another PvT. Now, PvT, like I mentioned in the last video, I've been kind of struggling with. This game actually, if I remember right, goes a lot better actually. Everything he more or less throws at me gets countered, and everything just in general is a little bit more tip-top shape as far as dealing with drops and kind of seeing them coming. So in this game we're going to look at just kind of the difference between this and last game. I'll probably be referring a little bit to what happened in the last game and how it differs from what happened in this game, just to give you guys some flavor as to when you're playing how to change things up a little bit to avoid certain things from happening. So anyways, we're going to be going out and scouting because we love to scout after a gateway. It just makes so much sense. Pretty much going to get in, see his barracks coming down, try to harass a little bit, kind of poke out, don't really do much. Now, I probably should have gone in just to check the gas timing, because the gas timing is kind of a critical timing. It tells you what you're going to be dealing with as far as really early game. If he's got the gas, he can obviously go for kind of a Marauder Marine push, as we saw in the last game, or we could see a Reaper expand, which is kind of probably the more typical thing that we see. So, Probe's going to be kind of chilling out. We're going to go ahead and send the Zealot over just to get an idea of what he's up to. We're going to poke it in, just get a feel for if he's got units and what kind of units is he going for. If he's just going for Marines, we're going to feel pretty comfortable. We'll sit back and, see kind of what's going on. Now, actually, yeah, I'm kind of waiting for the Stalker because I want to poke in and kind of see what we're dealing with. And we come in and we see, at this point, we see a Stargate, we see a factory, we see a barracks, we see he's checked up pretty quick. He's already up at Stargate. We're only 5 minutes in. He's definitely going for Widowmine drops as a function of seeing the Widowmine. So we're pretty content. We can just kind of run away, and we end up losing the Zealot in the process. No big deal, whatever. So we're gonna be feeling pretty comfortable to get down our robotics facility relatively early, because obviously we want to be able to spot those Widowmines. And then we're also feeling pretty good to go ahead and expand. Now, why we choose to expand as opposed to sit back and be a little bit more defensive is more or less just because, we know he's not going to have a whole bunch of Marines and Marauders. We know he's not going to basically have any units other than Widowmines and maybe a few medevacs. So it probably just skipped a whole bunch. Wow. Huh. Anyways, so just gonna be kind of seeing what we're gonna get a couple more Stalkers up, because we know we're gonna be seeing medevacs fairly soon, and then getting up our observer as quickly as possible, because we want to be able to deal with any sort of Widowmines being placed into our mineral lines and things of that nature. Now, this game I actually opted not to go for the Mothership Core too terribly early. I kind of held off a little bit just to make sure that I was covered for that initial drop. So we see with our vision, I know he's going to be coming from this direction, because obviously that's where his base is. And we actually see the medevac. We poke it a couple times, and he's just like, oh, gotta get out of there. So we're feeling pretty good. He actually does have a little bit more than just Widowmines in there. So that probably, I was anticipating only Widowmines. That probably wouldn't have been too good had I let him, do that. Or, let anything drop out of that medevac. So basically we're just going to be sitting back, getting up our probes. Now we feel pretty comfortable to get our Mothership Core out and get our Photon overcharge just to deal with any kind of early pressure. I went ahead and put down my Twilight Council, because the Twilight Council and the Dark Shrine just gives you kind of that flexibility to do a little bit of harass that he might not be expecting. Because what is the typical follow-up for Protoss? When you've stopped something this early, you're going to want to tech up pretty quick to get, you know, either upgrades or Colossus, things of that nature. He forced us to go Robo, so he's probably, you know, he knows we're thinking kind of Colossus tech, but I went ahead and went for the Dark Shrine just as kind of like a switch up to kind of that little mind game of what he would be thinking. So we come in, we see, we more or less see the Banshee before it even does anything, and then it just kind of goes home. You know, no big deal. No gain, no pain, no gain, I guess. So we send out our Warp Prism. He actually sees it coming, so he kind of has a general idea of what I'm doing at this point. He actually sends his Banshee out to find it, and I get in here and can poke around a little bit, get an idea of what he's looking to do. Now, one little interesting tip: in order to do that, basically when you are moving your Warp Prism, like let's say you have your Warp Prism on move command from here to here, what you can do is while it's moving, you can hit the D button and click on the Warp Prism, and it actually will drop out the units as you're traveling. So just kind of a small little tip that some people don't know. So I go ahead and leave one Dark Templar back here because I'm thinking, he might become of use a little bit later. Send the Warp Prism out. He sees the he actually sees the pylon. And I believe this is the point where I kind of move in with my DT, take out a couple SCVs, force another scan, and basically just do that kind of harassment. Back at home, we've got up five gateways. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna start. As you can see, I'm doing a little bit poorly on the macro here. Not too well. Getting close to being, well, not really getting close to being supply block, but in general, just not spending my money. So I'm going to be getting down the assimilators, and then I believe I also start to, throw down the Robo Bay. Now that I've got that option, you know, I know he started, you know, more Marine Marauder production as a function of what was sitting here, and we are pretty comfortable going ahead and getting Colossus tech. So basically, at this point, it's just kind of a passive game. I'm going to start thinking about taking a third since my natural's more or less saturated, or getting fairly close. I am super saturated in my main. Holy cow. I wonder why I didn't notice that. Another thing I need to work on still. So yeah, so going to start thinking about taking a third, plant down the third, get up the assimilators and whatnot. Going to be walling off here just to kind of hinder that, you know, from him sending his full army up, doing that kind of thing. Wonder why he got that missile turret. That's really, I mean, I guess if I was going to drop, then that would probably be a place where I would consider. So it looks like he's going to be getting up his third. I'm just going to I'm basically sitting back, macroing up, doing my thing, getting my units, putting down more gateways, getting the double upgrades going. Basically, we're just in a very commanding lead as a function of he hasn't been able to do any harassing at all. Hasn't taken out any probes. I am still sitting really heavy on gateway units and, well, tier 1 gateway units, and not kind of Archons, things of that nature. So that's definitely one issue that I need to work on, especially in my PvT, because versus Terran splash effective units are key to being successful in a PvT. So we've got a handful of Colossus now, or Archons, I can't speak. Rocking the money, so we're going to throw down a whole bunch more gateways since our third base is up and running, doing its thing. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pause for a sec. We are on 1-1 upgrades. He is on 1-1 as well. So we're even on upgrades. Looking pretty decent. Overall, our unit count, I mean, if we look at our army tab, I've got a little bit more gas-heavy units, but I think in general, we're pretty close. Units-wise, he's got 37 Marines. I've got 27 Zealots. Yeah, so I'm doing pretty good on the units. At this point, he's just choosing to go home and build up his third base and get things. He knows he's a little bit behind, so he's just kind of waiting it out. Starting to get gateways up here. He scouts that I've got a third and that I'm working on it, but I move in and he just backs up. So looking pretty good. Gonna be getting this gateways now. I really don't know why I didn't do anything with the Colossus tech. I kind of feel like I should have gotten just a handful of Colossus, maybe 3 at the most. But overall, doing fairly well. Got some Templar. Storm has finally gotten. So looking pretty good right now. We see. I'm not sure why he sent all these, SCVs and mules, but he did. I guess he was looking to take a 4th. That would be my guess. So I do want to note that we are sitting on 68 probes, which is actually pretty good. It's just roughly around 60 probes is 3 base saturation. I think it's like 65 maybe is, let's see, 16 times 3 plus 6 times 3, so whatever that comes out to be, add that all together, and that's kind of what you're looking for to get your 3 base saturation. Now we come in and we choose to engage this, but honestly this is kind of a really bad engagement. We get a really nice storm off, and this is kind of where learning how to do engagements, especially in these situations, is kind of crucial. So I went ahead, as opposed to using Storm, I went ahead, since his medevacs were so high up in energy, I just went ahead and feedbacked them, because obviously no energy basically makes them useless for him. Gonna get a really good concave in, and gonna storm the heck out of his units. They're just gonna melt. And yeah, we're pretty much sitting pretty with a fairly extensive unit count lead. So yeah, we walk in, things are looking good. His third base is not really doing anything. His main is mined out. And yeah, we basically just taken out his natural, so he is effectively not really that mining at all. Let's see, resources. Yeah, he's not really doing anything. Granite nor mine, because my, well, I don't know. No, that's resources. That's not income. There we go. Much better. Yeah, so we're sitting pretty. We're counterattacking, taking out stuff. He really can't do anything because he doesn't have money. And yeah, looking pretty good. Now, if all PvTs went this way for me, I would be feeling pretty good about myself and getting into Masters, because I'm pretty sure this guy was a Diamond player, so still kind of playing that Diamond Masters range area. He actually had a drop come in here, and one of them dies. The other one, oh, I had cannons being prepared. Perfect. Things went well. Everything's looking good. And that would be GG. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this game. Feel free to leave some comments. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any questions about my build or strategy or anything PvT related, or heck, Protoss versus anything related, feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Also, if you are here for the first time, welcome. I hope you enjoyed this episode and would appreciate it if you, well, no, I wouldn't appreciate it. If you enjoyed this so much that you want to check out some more of my videos, feel free to take a look at my channel. I submit things to roughly 2-3 times a week. Try to get more content out now that my master's class is done. So feel free to subscribe. Also, if you want to see me play these games live, check me out on Twitch and follow me on Twitter and all that other social media jazz. So feel free to check out the description, and I will see you guys in the next game.